Jacopo Bassano, originally named Jacopo dal Ponte, was born around 1510 in Bassano del Grappa, a small town located in the Veneto region of northern Italy. His birthplace, from which he later derived his professional name, played a significant role in shaping his artistic identity. Jacopo was born into a family of artists. His father, Francesco dal Ponte, was a painter and introduced young Jacopo to the art world. The family workshop, which Jacopo would eventually inherit, became a cornerstone of his career and the site where he developed his unique style. Jacopo's early artistic education took place under his father's guidance. Francesco's style was rooted in the traditions of the late Gothic period, and Jacopo initially absorbed these influences. However, as he grew older, Jacopo sought to broaden his horizons. He travelled to Venice, the epicenter of the Renaissance in northern Italy, where he encountered the works of leading Venetian masters such as Titian, Lorenzo Lotto, and Veronese. This exposure had a profound impact on him, especially in his use of colour and the depiction of light. Upon his return to Bassano, Jacopo began to merge the techniques and styles he observed in Venice with his own burgeoning ideas. He developed a distinct style that blended the grandeur of Venetian art with the rustic charm and realism of his rural surroundings. Unlike many of his contemporaries, Jacopo focused heavily on landscape painting, integrating it seamlessly into his compositions. His landscapes were not mere backdrops, but integral elements of the narrative, filled with emotional resonance and naturalistic detail. Jacopo's paintings are characterized by a rich and varied palette, dynamic compositions, and a masterful use of chiaroscuro, the contrast between light and dark. He had an extraordinary ability to capture the textures of different materials, whether it was the soft fur of an animal, the rough surface of stone, or the delicate folds of fabric. This meticulous attention to detail gave his works a tangible quality that made them especially compelling. One of the hallmarks of Jacopo's work was his ability to infuse biblical and mythological scenes with a sense of immediacy and relatability. His figures, often set in pastoral settings, exude a humanity and warmth that were uncommon in religious art of the time. This approach is evident in one of his most famous works, The Last Supper, 1546, located in the church of San Giovanni in Bassano. Unlike traditional depictions of this iconic scene, Jacopo's version is filled with life and movement, with the apostles engaged in animated conversation and the table laden with a sumptuous still life. The painting's strong chiaroscuro and intricate details demonstrate Jacopo's mature style and his skill in blending realism with the dramatic elements of mannerism. Jacopo's time in Venice not only exposed him to the works of great masters, but also introduced him to the latest developments in artistic techniques and themes. The influence of Titian, in particular, can be seen in Jacopo's use of vibrant colours and his ability to convey emotion through his figures. However, while Titian's influence is evident, Jacopo's work also reflects a departure from the more classical and idealized forms of the Venetian school. Instead, Jacopo's art leans towards a more naturalistic and earthy representation of subjects, a quality that set him apart from his Venetian contemporaries. The integration of landscape into his compositions is perhaps Jacopo's most significant contribution to the art of his time. While landscape elements were not uncommon in Renaissance painting, they were often secondary to the main subject. Jacopo, however, elevated the landscape to a central role in his works, using it to enhance the narrative and emotional impact of the scene. This innovative approach had a lasting influence on the development of landscape painting in Italy and beyond. Jacopo's success as a painter was closely tied to the workshop he inherited from his father. The workshop became a family affair, with Jacopo training his 4 sons, Francesco the Younger, Giambattista, Leandro, and Girolamo, all of whom became accomplished painters in their own right. Together, the Bassano family maintained a prolific output, producing numerous works that were highly sought after by patrons across Italy. The collaborative nature of the Bassano workshop allowed Jacopo to focus on larger and more complex commissions, while his sons often assisted with the execution of these works. This arrangement also ensured that the distinctive style Jacopo developed was carried on by the next generation.